really don't know how I'm going to be organizing all of these videos. I'm like horrible at the vlog. Hey everyone, it's Liana from Love Learning with Liana. So today is my second day at this summer institute at the new district I'm at, except I'm going to be filming an intro to yesterday because it was such a busy day, busy morning yesterday that I wasn't able to. It's funny because I left an hour early from to get here. I got baby ready, I got me ready and everything, and I kept getting like roadblocks, but it wasn't updated on my maps, and so I had to find my way around. And I actually read a map on the phone. So yesterday was the first day of Summer Institute, and it's basically this whole week we're going to be talking about English language learners and how we can reach them and use different strategies. And this district that I'm at is specifically high impact and low prep strategies, and so I'm really loving what today they've shared. And so I'm going to take you kind of in and out. I know I'm new to vlogging, and so it'll be kind of like bits and pieces here, and hopefully I get better soon. But I do want to share the strategies that I do learn. I also got a new camera. I can see myself, so if I look up here, right here, it means I'm trying to see if I'm in focus, but if I look here, that means I'm actually like looking into the lens where I'm supposed to be looking. I'm very excited to be learning about English language learners because I'm like a mile, 2 miles away from the Mexican border, and I know I'm gonna have like 95% English language learners, and I haven't actually talk to you guys about what I'm going to be doing. I am going to find out a little bit more in the future from when I start school, but I know I'm going to be kind of like a teacher on special assignment TOSA for STEM projects, especially for Project Lead the Way, and I'm very excited because I do love teaching STEM. I love everything about all those subjects. Basically today is going to be main intro in the hall where all the teachers from the district are together, and then we're going to be broken up into 3 groups, and we're going to be being rotated. And they even gave us a little goodie bag. I don't know if you can see right here. That's my big bag right there. In that bag, I will share with you what is in there later. I really can't do anything this morning without coffee and this pound cake. This is like my cheap breakfast when I have nothing prepared. So I'm here, and we're eating breakfast, or a lot of people are just scattered. So I'll show you what it kind of looks like.
I would like to buy a hamburger.
I would like to buy a hamburger.
I want you to please remember this. Kids are kids first, they're ELs next. So never say, I'm going to do this for my ELs twos, my emergings, my bridgings, my expandings. What I want to say is, well, how long have they been in the country? There's a difference between a student, thinking of our old terminology, an EL2. Do you think it's the same student at EL2 who's been here for a year versus EL2 who's been here for 6? No. They're completely different. But if we don't remember that there's a context, the person's a person first, then you stick them in an EL2 program, and then bad things happen.
I'm walking to the next training session, and the first one was really great. I know that the last school I came from also had designated EL time, and I totally want to share a lot about this in a different video because I think it's so important for teachers to know the difference between integrated EL and designated. But right now I'm going back to the main group, and let's see what we'll learn.
Those are what Tulare County thinks a good Common Core STEM or prompt would be, but they don't come from SBAC, right? So use them as an example, but just...
Okay, so I'm done for the day, but I just found out that some teachers have orientation, new teachers, and I don't know if I'm a part of that. I didn't get the email, so I am gonna go over to the district office to double check, just because I'm in a different position than the regular classroom teachers. And so I'm gonna go find out and pick up my first paycheck, and I will kind of recap later. Bye. Okay, so I just got home. I fed Lua, put her to sleep, and I got myself tea and a cinnamon roll that I got from the Lake Murray Cafe that's right next to me. And while I enjoy that, I wanted to show you this goodie bag that the district got all the teachers. Ooh, I don't want any cinnamon roll on this. And don't mind the mess here. That's where Lua plays. Anyway, so it's just a plain old purple bag. I don't know how long this would withstand if I took this. It's probably just a grocery bag that I can use. But they got us a bunch of goodies and a couple of the things I already used, but I haven't even looked through it, so I thought I might show you. So I have these scissors. They look nice and sturdy. 8 inches, yes. Can never have too. Oh, that was the laundry machine. Sorry. Okay, let's see. What is this? Okay, so I have this handout that we were given. I put it in there, but I was supposed to keep all the papers together. I wonder if I stuck it in here without knowing. Anyways, so I put in this what's important in ELD, like curriculum planning. Basically, we need a lot of oral language support for our ELD students, and I'll explain this in a different video. I have this folder that I'm guessing they want us to put in all the papers, like loose papers and packets that we get during the summer PD Summer Institute. And here some dividers. That's kind of cool that they do that. I don't have to go buy another folder. A cute little highlighter marker so we can use. Never have too much of that. Oh, okay. ELD design I've already showed you. You probably just saw it in passing. I'll explain more of this later. Let's see. Let's dig through. I'm feeling something. What is this? Washable glue stick. Oh, I need to figure this out. Okay, so this is hard to do with one hand. But I'm guessing this is like the end, and it's just like, that's easy for kids to use. This is cool. Post-its. They had us use this during like exit ticket, so I've already used a couple of these. I love them. And I definitely plan on using that during my Project Lead the Way lessons. Okay, another marker / highlighter. Here is that major packet that we got from that Math Strategies, which and it wasn't like brain exploding strategies, but they were so easy, so low prep but high impact. I definitely want to be using those during my core standards. And here's some more handouts from that. I think this may be the last item. Let's check. Yay. Can you tell I'm so tired? It's been a long day. I've been gone from home, and it's been, what, 2 months that I haven't been working, and so it's been nice just being at home. Okay, so this is the best part of what they gave us. It is the College Rule 5 subject notebook, and it's nice. It's nicely bound so you won't get the rounds snagged anywhere. You open it up, you have a nice little folder. Here's another paper that I'll share with you later. Okay, so you already have your post-its, a ruler. You also have another 2, 3. What? 1. Okay, yeah, it's just 2. And then you have a few pages of these, and I don't know. So it's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I probably won't use these at all. And I think what I'm going to do with this folder, with this notebook, is that anytime I go to PD at this district, or kind of any district, I love to write notes down because I do forget, and when I write things down, it's just easier for the knowledge to stick in my brain. And I love to share what I learn on my own with you guys, and so I love to share this. And so I'm going to use it kind of like an interactive notebook with a table of contents. So if you don't do this with your students, you need to do this now, or with the kids coming in. So basically it's so easy, like so easy. The very first page is table of contents. You literally, whatever you're doing first, you just have the kids write down whatever the title is and then the page number, and you write the pages yourself, the page numbers. If you see right here in the corner, you can barely see it. Okay, 1, 2, 3. You just write it in yourself, and it's so low tech and so easy. And the kids keep this little portfolio of things that they've learned, and so that's what I'm gonna be doing in this with all the PDs and anything that I learn along the way. I'm gonna keep it in here. And there's so many goodies in here that I definitely want to share with you. And I'm actually thinking about also stapling or gluing the, oh, that's why they gave us the scissors and the glue. So we can glue this in there. I'm totally gonna do that. Yes, these people are smart. Okay, so that's about it until tomorrow, and tomorrow's gonna be a longer day because I will be staying for that new teacher orientation with it, which I think is called Curriculum 101, and it's kind of what they do specifically at this district. So I'm very excited. Hey everyone. Okay, so I guess the theme of this vlog is go through the day and then share about it the next day. It's so hard just sitting down and being aware of the people around you, but still vlogging into a camera, like talking to a camera. It's so weird. And I know the people around me, they know what I'm doing. I'm just vlog too, but it's still pretty awkward. So props to all those vloggers out there that do it in front of other people. Anyway, so I want to talk about day 2. Day 2 is all about formal language and making the school a formal language zone, especially when you have a high level of English language learners. The summit opened up by letting us teachers know that the schools need to be formal language zones. So whether the kids are at the playground, in halls, getting lunch, in the classroom, the formal language needs to be spoken, not colloquial or casual. It's really difficult for us teachers, and so they give us tips on how to keep our students engaged in formal language and not refer back to colloquial, which is oftentimes just easier. Even teachers, we need the reminder because our students do look to us and they do find us as role models, and so we have to remind ourselves to oftentimes use informal language, just because sometimes that's the only times they'll get formal language speech. Most of the time students do hear formal language in the classroom and not in the playground, so we want the whole entire school zone to be a formal language zone. The seminar opened up with a few tips and tricks on how to get our students to use formal language. The tips were broken up into the CELT levels for the students. So basically the new CELT reconfiguration, you have, I think it's 3 levels, not 5 anymore. And so if you're basically emerging the first level, you don't know any English or you know very little of it. And so the teachers expect the students to repeat after them. So if they are trying to say, please, or may I go to the restroom, or can I go to the restroom, the teacher will say, can I go to the restroom, and the student will repeat after the teacher. Usually, especially if the kids in kindergarten, it's going to be a very basic, first grade, second grade even, very basic, simple sentences. Even 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, if these students come in without knowing any English, you're not going to want them to say, teacher, I'm having an extreme emergency and I need to use the restroom. No, it's just going to be a basic, I need to use the restroom. Us teachers can be great role models and can show how to use formal language, but the school culture needs to also reflect that. There needs to be a norm presented in the classrooms that are also upheld in the hallways and in the restrooms and at lunch. And once this is kind of in place, it's easier to for a teacher to see a student and to remind that student that the school is a formal language zone. So what happens when they don't use formal language? What can we do? And that's what we got a lot of tips and tricks on. So they basically, there was like hand gestures that they taught us that we can use with our students. Once we go over the cultures and the norms and what we expect of them, we want every single student to speak in complete sentences. And this is going to look different for all the different students that come in knowing little or no English to a little bit more to bridging the English proficiency level. What they taught is, if you're in front of your classroom, you've already established the norm and the culture in the school that you want the students need to speak in complete sentence. Let's see if I can switch arms. If you want your students to speak in a complete sentence, let's say you ask, hey students, how was your day today? The kids say good. You can basically put your hands together. Imagine both my hands like this, and then you spread it out. Like, first stop is here, and then you bring it out, stretch it out. And so the students are getting like a visual reminder, and you don't have to necessarily say it. The students know that they need to complete their sentence by spreading it. So what about the kids that don't speak any English? Basically, you're not going to do this and expect them to do good, good, good. They're not going to be able to complete that sentence. They're going to be able to maybe repeat the words over and over, but that's not what we want. We want them to speak complete sentences. So when we do this, maybe we can also say, so please repeat after me. I need to use the restroom. And so the students will say, I need to use the restroom. That's one way where they are able to contribute to the full complete sentences without them feeling like they need to look around, I don't know, without them freaking out because they don't know how to speak the language. So the students now, they're at the expanding level, so they're kind of like the intermediate if you're looking at the old ELD standards. So expanding, intermediate, these kids already can repeat after you, but if you keep asking them to repeat after you, they're not going to grow. What time is it? I don't want to be late. I gotta go. I'm gonna go in because I don't want to be late, but if you're still interested about this, then leave me a comment below, let me know, and I will create a whole YouTube video about it.
Is more important than ever. For example, the Supreme Court ruled that the donor who gave Ted Cruz $6 million was just exercising free speech.
Yeah, it's the kind of speech like this. I just wasted $6 million.
Teacher, formal, informal, what are the characteristics? You have 2 minutes, do it with a friend. Ready, set?
My goodness. Colloquial language. Body language. Body language too. Jesus Christ. Yeah, proper language and the formal. Yeah.
So I was thinking
full sentences, everything he was thinking, he had to keep it inside. Most of it, he had to like
Thank you.
Like he's measured, he's contained.
Maybe you picked on some,
so that he's
picked up on
so
some
he's
of these
accurate.
characteristics.
So that he shares.
Okay, I just had to show you there's an actual nursing room and I am so excited. Anytime I nursed in the past, it was either in my room or in the principal's office. Yes! This is so awesome. I have a cord, oh my gosh, a mirror. And then you even get some pro breastfeeding words. I love it. I'm really excited to post this because I really want a lot of us teachers to talk about ELs in our classrooms and what it means to really move them up. So what's really been on my mind this past couple of days is motivation for teachers. I've been at a school where the motivation was mostly derived from the data we received from like DRA levels, whatnot. So we would receive semester DRA levels and then compare and see the average of the DRA growth. And I always knew there was something wrong with that, and I always knew that the data was amazing. It removed the student out of the equation. It took a lot out of the focus of why we're teaching. So this week has actually really been really helpful for me because it's talked about why we're teaching. Even though I'm an EL and I want ELs just like me to succeed in the future, go to college, whatnot, and have a career and do whatever they want to do, these seminars have truly opened my eyes as to how big it is, like how monumental it is for us to help these EL students. So the research that was brought up was that if you're looking at who is successful, they go to college, they have jobs, they're in research, they're doing all these things in the academic world, and you look at them and then you are going to see that you have your EOs, your English only students, but the most successful students, the biggest number of students in these institutions that become successful, or in this society's definition of successful, however you want to look at it. So the most successful group of these students are going to be the English language learners that came into school knowing no English or some English, and by 4th grade they were FEPing out, and so that means they were redesignated as English proficient learners or English proficient students, and so they were no longer taking the CELT after they FEPed out. And so it was really mind-opening for me, because I actually went through that experience. The motivation for a teacher maybe should not be the data. Maybe, I mean, data is huge, but looking at the data in the big picture, like the FEPing out, and by 4th grade, if they FEP out by 4th grade, they're the most successful in the colleges and workplace. Maybe our, like, the fire under our behinds is going to be that research, not the data that we receive. So I've always had a problem with this. Motivation for doing great, especially with English language learners as your students. So you have two sides of the spectrum. You have one side where the motivation, the pull, the tug is going to be the levels, whatever DRA star, whatever you're basing your levels on. And so you get data every semester, every year, and you compare the data, your kids, you're comparing class to class, so the teachers are looking at each other's data, and that data is wonderful. You can get a lot, you can glean a lot from those points, but motivation is, I don't know if it's going to motivate all your teachers to do as much as they can for the English language learners, just because you're removing the student out of the equation, and it becomes kind of lifeless, and it can become scary where the teachers feel shame because they have certain scores, or they can be pitted against other teachers, when they can be compared to one another, when in fact these teachers just need extra support, and they're coming into the school with different strengths, and the reading abilities are not, or the reading teaching abilities need to just be honed in on. And then the other side of the spectrum is when you look at the research and you actually see that if these EL students FEP out by 4th grade and they're the most successful in the colleges, like, doesn't that like put a fire under your behind? Doesn't that want to make you do the best you can for your students, to continue growing and learning for your students? I feel like teaching is already so difficult, so when you remove the student out of the equation, it's just going to make going to work, going to teach, just burdensome. When you think about your students, it makes everything worthwhile.
Three, we can't see anyone in the crowd. They would say we can't see no one. We can't see no one. Yep. Number 4, there aren't any. And they might say there aren't presents. And I never get to do anything. That's a George Lopez. I never get to do nothing. Nothing. So, double negatives. So the
discussion about the word. Oh, remember the story, Liberty was about the Statue of Liberty, and she was in America, and I know we don't know the word landmark yet, but we're going to learn about that later, but it's something that's important, a place that's important. Okay, and you go through, you discuss them. Got that part? Now I'm on number... I'm so happy, I can't lie, mesmerized. I'm so happy, I can't lie, mesmerized. I'm so happy, I can't lie, mesmerized. I'm so happy, I'm so happy.
Okay.
So our group did it, and we're gonna see if we did it correctly.
Of course we did.
So we set up an array.
We call this type of grouping a what? It starts with an A and a what?
Array.
An array.
This is 4 groups of 6.
That's right.
Is that always the same as 6 groups of 4? The quantity is the same,
But the amount on each.
but the grouping is different.
That's
what's
right.
important. Now, my 4 groups of 6.
4 groups of 6.
So here I have 4 groups of 6.
Yep.
What haven't I included yet?
The 3 single ones.
Okay, so take a different color. Any
Which
color.
are
I took
supposed to be
yellow
these.
and put 3 additional boxes.
Yeah, we.
Same answer. Why is it different? Then why does it matter? If I multiply these by this or add this, it doesn't make a bit of difference. You have to show them that it does. Okay? 3 plus 4 times 6 is not.
I go inside, the lady comes out of the concert and says, he greets me at the door, and she says, "No." And I said, "Who are you?" He says, "Oh, from Suma." "Oh, I still don't know who you are." "Well, I recognize you because of your glasses." Then you all, then let me take them off. My glasses gave you away.
You're also very recognizable.
Oh.